Well, hello my friends and welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you some insanely easy and beautiful thrift store makeovers. I went thrifting if you watched my video last week, and I shared some of the finds that I had, that I did, or finds that I got at the thrift store, and I wanted to make over a couple items that I got. So I'm starting off with this galvanized it's not galvanized, enamel canister, and this would be great in the kitchen with like coffee label or tea or even flour, whatever that you may need. However, I'm going in a different direction in my kitchen, so I have decided to use this canister in my master ensuite to house my salt. Now I am a little bit concerned that it's gonna corrode the container, so I might line it with a clear bag just to be safe. But I did want it to style it a little bit, so I'm using my Cricut to cut out. I got this image off of the Cricut Design Space. So it was super easy. I just loaded it onto my canvas and I sized it to the canister, cut it out on some vinyl, and then transferred it, or weed it out, and then I'm transferring it out. You could also use transfer paper if you have. That was originally what I was going to do, but I ran out of ink, so I used my Cricut. And if you you can use stencil to stencil stuff on, or you can freehand it. That is totally up to you. I went with an easier option, and I can't be more pleased with the way this turned out. I thought this decal was absolutely perfect for what I was going to use this for. Even though it was easy creating this decal, it was a hard, or vinyl cutout, it was a little bit harder to transfer it onto this canister just because of the shape. Maybe there's a trick to it and I just haven't found it, but I did struggle a little bit, and so I just had to smooth out a couple pieces with my finger once the transfer tape was off. But the transfer tape came off very easy. That was not a problem. Just a couple lines got a little crooked and kind of bunched up, so I just had to pull them straight. And also, if you see the bathtub, I did lose the legs in the weeding process because they were so thin and I just could not salvage them. So I just took a permanent marker and drew the legs on, and I thought that was an easy fix, and you can barely notice it. For my next project, I had picked up this shelf. I will be adding this to my bathroom. I think that's what it might be intended for. If it's not, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm giving it a little bit of cleaning, just wiping the dust off. It was fairly clean. There was not much on it stuck or anything like that. And I wanted to keep the little shelves and the top piece of wood as is. And then I wanted to paint the sides and the front where it's white with some chalk paint. I must say I was very excited when I had picked up this chalk paint at Dollar Tree. It was $1.50. It was in, I want to say it's a sage blue. So I was, like I said, I was quite sage green. I think that's what it's called. I was quite excited. But when I poured it, I noticed that it was a little bit runny, not what you would think chalkboard paint would be like. And then when I started applying it, I did not love it at all. It wasn't covering, it was sliding on the wood. I tried wiping it off to see if some of it's gonna stay on there, but nothing was really staying on there. So I did proceed to mix it again, thinking that maybe some of that dust had maybe settled at the bottom of it. So I decided to pour it out again after mixing, and it was still fairly thin. So But I thought I'd give it a true test. So I did end up painting everything, the sides and what I intended to, with 2 coats. And then I ended up not loving the color itself, which I could have dealt with because I could have added dark wax to it and made it a little bit darker. It was a lot brighter than what I thought it would have been. But the coverage was awful. The lines were showing. It was just not what I wanted it to be. So you will see this if you come back on Sunday. I do share my haul from the Dollar Tree and my trip to Dollar Tree. I actually take you guys shopping with me, and when I find all of these paints. So you will see the excitement that I had when I did find this paint, because I thought it was pretty good deal for, you know, those special colors that you might not need a whole container of. But I was very disappointed after I used it here. Maybe it was a fluke. I will try all the other colors that I picked up and see if they're all running. Maybe it was just this one, but for this project it did not work out. So after I was done painting this, I did end up wiping it all off, and I took Annie Sloan's black Abuson blue it was not Athenian black, and painted the sides and the front of that shelf. And I just dry brushed that paint on, so some of that wood was still showing.
You're not gonna leave your side. Just feel free to open up when the moment's right. Across your face, it is written across your face. If you wanna go out, we can go out. You can hide away just for one night, but if you wanna cry, just let it out. I'm by your side now. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. Deep down I know you're strong. Give them hell, baby, prove them wrong. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. I know you'll get up again. Better stand up tall, I know you can be brave, brave, brave.
This black Annie Sloan chalk paint went on a lot nicer. I was a little bit worried that maybe it was the wood, and this is why this was happening. But after doing this chalk paint, it turned out really nice, and I am very pleased with the way the black ended up looking. I think it looked better than what I thought it was going to look. So I just cleaned off the edges while the paint was still wet, so I don't have to sand it. And that was it. It was a very simple makeover. If it were, the paint would have worked right off the beginning.
I know you can be brave, brave, brave.
This last makeover, I had picked up this terracotta pot. Obviously, the color of it does not go with my decor. And originally I was going to use that same green that I used on the shelf, but decided that I should just proceed and use the black, Athenian black from Annie Sloan that I used on a shelf. This was a fairly thick paint because it has dried a little bit, but I didn't want to add water into the paint. So I just got my paintbrush fairly wet, got some paint, took it off on a lid, and then just used that to paint it. And one dip was enough. It covered the whole pot. I was going to maybe add some white wax to it just to pick up all the imperfection that this terracotta pot had, but I really did love just the black color on it, and since that was kind of my winter theme, a lot of black and white, and I'm kind of following along with that still. I do love the way it looks, so I just decided to leave this as is. So like I said, very simple, but yet I think impactful makeovers. I mean, this pot went from, for me, unusable to usable. Now for anything, I can use it in my bathroom to go along with the rest of the DIYs from today and put maybe some bath bombs in it. and keep it on the tub or put a plant on it. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I can also make an arrangement with fall flowers, florals in it. I mean, like I said, possibilities are endless, especially now that it is black. It kind of goes with all the other colors that I might be using. I did not paint the inside of it, and I did not apply wax on the outside either. I just left it as is. It looks very rough, like the paint looks very rough, but that is the texture of the pot, and I think it just gives it so much more character. Well, I hope you had enjoyed this very easy yet beautiful DIY thrift store makeovers. These, someone else's trash is always my treasure. So I loved doing these upcycles and sharing them with you. Let me know which one is your favorite. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And if you're a returning subscriber, I want to thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.
Did you wrong, wish I could take your pain away, 'cause I hate seeing tears streaming down your face. I know you're strong, won't feel this way for long, no.